I stayed up all night last night with my kid, and now I can't do anything at the weekend, and I can't just go away on a holiday because I have children. And you're like, okay, and then like you should have kids, you'd be happy too. I'm like, I don't know about that. You're going to regret it one day. It's the greatest thing that ever happened to me. And you're like, okay, well I see you, and you don't look that happy.
But I have seen children sometimes an ego decision, like DNA, legacy, loneliness, fear of being forgotten.
Yeah, I think all when I'm older and I'm in a pickle and I'm a bit sick or I need help, who's going to help me? Not that it's
If I wanted the children to save the relationship, since 20 years old, I knew I want a big family.
you wanted a big
I
family.
wanted a big family, minimum 3 children.
Wow.
Hi, guys.
Hi guys, welcome along to another edition of Gary and Susie talking about stuff. We're had a lot of fun this week. What was it we were talking about last time?
I think we were talking about Brooklyn and
Ah,
David
Brooklyn Beckham and
Beckham,
Victoria
yeah.
Beckham. No developments since we last brought you the update to that particular family saga. But it got us thinking, didn't it, about kids and families and all that. Because in the video we were talking, you can check it out by the way on our channel, but we were talking about the intricacies of family life and how it's the same for rich people as it is for, I suppose, less rich people, normal people like us, the plebs. Every family has drama, and every family has that whole thing going on, the dynamic between the mother and the father and the kids and stuff. So we thought we'd talk about kids because a couple of people suggested that we do that, and that's what we're going to do. Do you want kids? Do you have kids? And all that kind of stuff. Do we need more kids? Is the world's population out of control and all that stuff? So we're going to talk about that today.
Yes. Are you happy with your kids?
Yeah, you happy with your kids?
Do you want a refund?
Yeah, no one's going to say, yeah, I wouldn't mind a refund. They might think it, but they're not going to say it.
Yes.
So Susie has all the questions, so I'll let her take it away.
I used to think before that people they don't the people that they don't want children are selfish. But I
Okay,
totally
right.
changed my mind now
People who
when
didn't want children were selfish.
Yes.
I suppose there was a thinking like that back in the day, depending on what country you're from. It was an expectation that you would grow up, go to college, settle down, have some kids, and that was the way the world worked. But it changed hugely in the last 40 years or so, where people were a little bit more interested in alternative lifestyles. That, maybe I don't want to go to college, maybe I want to go traveling, maybe I want to have a career instead of children. Which are all perfectly noble and perfectly normal aspirations. And it did change society, though, because those expectations were sort of lifted off people. Um, Certainly, family sizes are smaller. I know from my own experience, my mum was one of 6, I'm going to say, maybe 7. My dad was one of 17 children.
God.
Okay. So he was the youngest. He passed away a couple of years ago, and he was the youngest at 90. So there was many uncles and aunties that I never got to meet that would have been, in their prime in the 50s and 60s, which is incredible. And they all had 65 grandchildren. So the 17 kids had 65 kids, and I was the 65th cousin.
Oh my God.
So that's an enormous family.
Maybe I'm your cousin.
Maybe you're my cousin. Everybody's my cousin. So that was my dad's side of the family. 17 children, 65 grandchildren. I was the youngest that came along, which is just an incredible number when you think about it. I mean, my grandmother had 17 children. And that's not to say that, how many times was she pregnant and maybe, she might have had a miscarriage. I don't really know because the history goes back so far. So that's incredible when you think about it. The woman would have been pregnant for most of her life.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you don't just have 17 children. You're consistently pregnant. Different world, different time. It just doesn't exist anymore. And if it does exist, it gets a reality TV show on TLC. Me and my giant family. So it is really, really rare. Now people are having less children.
Some of them, they don't have children.
Some people don't have children at all, but if they do have children, they'll have 1 to 3, probably maximum. You get a few, of course. There's people out there with many more, and if you do, please get in contact with us and let us know, because I just think it's cool to have a big family. But it's just too difficult nowadays to have a lot of children, because children cost an absolute fortune to raise. I think the average or something is nearly $1 million in America, when you really take into everything how much it's going to cost you over a lifetime to have a child. I'm not sure of those numbers, but I think it's quite high. Like, it's eye-wateringly high. So it's really expensive to invest in a child for life. These are decisions that people have to make, and it's it's a really complex and really interesting notion when you break it down and you start to look at who's having kids and who's not having kids. Why are they having less kids? Should people have more kids?
Hmm.
What are the reasons for them not having kids? I mean, it's just a really, really interesting part of humanity that I don't think we talk about enough.
When did you first question having children?
Okay, now we're going to talk about us personally,
Yes,
really. Well,
yes.
I never really had the urge to have children. A lot of my friends did when I was in school. They were just laser focused on the college, the job, the family, the kids, the car, the house. Done. Fine. I was a little bit crazy. I was like, I want to do this in TV. I want to do this in radio. I want to do this with my band. I want to do. There was so many things that I wanted to do, and at the same time, I was sensible enough to know that if I want to do all of those things, well, then getting married and having children young is not going to be compatible with what I want out of life.
Yeah.
So I made that decision. I didn't say I didn't want kids. I said, I don't want kids right now, down the road, maybe. And of course, don't forget that I came from a family where there was no expectation that you would have children early. My mum and dad, when they had me, my mum was in her 40s, my dad was in his 50s. So I kind of, came along at the end of, they call it in my country, the shakings of the bag. It was like the end of a bag of crisps. It was like, oh, there's a baby, just at the end of the normal cycle. So there was no expectations to do it really really young in my family, and I'm still open. Like I'm in my 40s now, and I'm still open to having a kid. But I am very realistic about what it means to do it and to do it right. I think there are people in the world that maybe rush it and don't realize the enormity of the task they're taking on. It is life changing. It is totally encapsulating. It changes everything about who you are and where you're going. And it's fine both ways. If you want to do that and have children, it's a brilliant thing to do. We need people. So go ahead and do it. But if you don't want them, that's fine also. We need people like that too. It's a really interesting topic.
I was exactly the opposite. Like
Hmm.
since 20 years old, I knew I want a big family.
You wanted a big
I
family.
wanted a big family, minimum 3 children.
Wow.
Yes, my best friend has
Which is big by modern
three,
standards. Yeah, it's
three,
free.
three children. And I always had this pressure, like the age pressure
Yeah.
or I don't know, society
Hmm.
pressure, I don't know. Um, but I changed my mind after 40,
Mm.
around 40 maybe. I, like this pressure made me think that to stay in the wrong relationships. For example, I always wanted children when I was in the wrong relationship. You question now if I wanted the children to save the relationship or.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of families where children have kept people together where they otherwise probably would have been apart if they hadn't have had children. So that does happen. But that's interesting, that you went from wanting loads of children to really
To
not
not
to
want
really
any.
not wanting any at all.
it's
It's
very it's
it's
very
modern life.
interesting because on unhealthy relationships I wanted children, but the healthy one
Yeah.
now I don't want children.
Right. Yeah.
It should be the opposite.
Yeah, I suppose we're both late starters in that regard. I mean, it's not impossible. We could have a kid. And I think that's what's brilliant. I think, a lot of people are under pressure to do it young. And there's a lot of benefits to having children young, for sure. You're around longer, you're fitter, I suppose, when they're growing up. You're more capable for the late nights and, all this stuff. But I mean, at the same time, as I said, my own parents were, I was later life when I came along, and they were perfectly fine. I mean,
Hmm.
it was a healthy pregnancy, and everything worked out great. And so I think there's pressure on people to do it young when they really do have a little bit of time. If they want to take that time out, they can absolutely do that.
Hmm.
But I think, just as what you were saying about relationships, about having kids and stuff like that, um when you're planning to have a child, you have to take into account that whoever you're with them for the rest of your life.
Hmm.
Even if you separate, they're still going to be in your life. They
Hmm.
sort of have to be, because
Hmm.
you've a shared person there. You
Hmm.
know.
And how much does your own trauma play a role?
I didn't say I had trauma. I'm perfectly fine. I don't really know. My brother has a child, and it's great. It's great to have a kid in the family, and I love him. He's my nephew, and that's great. So I get that kind of. I had the baby vibe. I had the kind of toddler vibe. I looked after him. I did whatever I had to do for my nephew. So I got the experience, I suppose, of being, responsible with the child, but then handing it back to the person who's ultimately responsible, which was great handing the kid back. You know, didn't do any of the late nights and all the nonsense. It's brilliant.
Yes, I love children. I love someone else
Yeah, I
children.
like to be Uncle Gary. Uncle Gary works for me. Uncle Gary works for me. But look, I mean, a lot of people have kids for lots of different reasons. I mean, there are people that have children because they're terrified of getting old and being, I suppose, alone, which is a perfectly legitimate reason as well. And we will have a problem in 40 years. There are a generation of people like us who didn't have any children, and you say to yourself, well, when I'm older and I'm in a pickle and I'm a bit sick or I need help, who's going to help me? Not that it's the right reason to have children is to have someone to look after you when you're older, but
Hmm.
it is part of it.
Most
And
children, they don't look after you.
a lot you could listen. You could have kids and then get sick, and the kids just give you the finger and piss off. So
Like Brooklyn Beckham.
yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? So you don't know what you're going to get. But there will be, a whole slew of people in 30 or 40 years that will need, a little bit of help. And it's going to be on the states kind of back how to fix that and how to help these people because there are no children to muck in. I looked after my mum when she was sick, and a little bit of my father as well. And that's what you do. I mean, they do enough for you your whole life. It's the least you can do is help them when they need you the most. But that's another aspect to it. Like I said, it's a complex and there's so much to it. But ultimately, you got to take all these things into account before you decide whether to have children or not have children. You really need to think about it thoroughly.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think now, I don't think not wanting children is selfish. I am scared, for example, if I want a child, I'm gonna give my own trauma.
You're going to pass on
You're
your
gonna
trauma.
pass on my
Well,
traumas,
that's
yes.
that's what parents do. I mean, I mean, you're bound to. I mean, you're raising, somebody almost in your image. So you can try your best not to put any of your baggage onto the kid.
What you always
It's
do.
you're always going to do it. It's always going to dump on the child.
And another reason is that I don't think it's responsible, me personally, I press my microphone. I'm talking about myself, that it's it's responsible from my side to bring a child into a world where I'm stressed about,
Hmm.
you know?
Mm. Well, that was always the thing that people said. It's like I would like to have children, but it's difficult to bring a child into the world the way it is.
Hmm.
The world's always going to be complicated. The world's always going to be in turmoil or upside down. There's no perfect time to have a kid. I mean, imagine back in the early 20th century when people were talking about having children, and then World War One and Two came along.
Hmm.
You just don't know what's ahead of you.
Hmm.
So just go for it. Some people don't even have to think about it. They've an urge to have children,
Hmm.
and that's fine too.
Hmm.
Otherwise, we wouldn't exist as a species.
Hmm.
If people didn't have that urge to have kids.
Are children becoming emotional support for adults?
I'm sure there's people out there that really use their children. Yeah, for sure. There's people out there who are mixed up and they're not all there emotionally and they're sort of stunted in a way, and that is part of passing the baggage onto the children because
Hmm.
whether they're passing on that trauma or not, the kids have to live with it.
Hmm.
And that's difficult. There is no perfect family, like we said in our last video.
Hmm. Is having children sometimes an ego decision, like DNA, legacy, loneliness, fear of being forgotten?
Yeah, I think all of that does tie into it if people are being honest. I mean, it's important for me to point out I don't have kids, so I'm not speaking on behalf of
You
fathers.
do.
I have a little girl called Lily. She's a hairy child, but I'm not speaking on behalf of fathers. If anything, I'm not remotely qualified to talk about this at all. So I would just say, from my perspective, uh, you know, there's one thing I've seen that's becoming an increasing trend is the dad wants the kid to be just like him, uh, you know, which is fine.
The
But
boys or the girls?
with the boys, especially the boys, but sometimes the girls. But it's this kind of notion that the kid will like my football team, the kid will like my interests and my hobbies, and the kid will also enjoy my interests and hobbies
Mhm.
with me. It's like, okay, I wasn't raised like that. I was allowed to find out my own way and figure out my own stuff. But you do see that an awful lot.
I would be
People are looking for a mini
so
me.
toxic. I would be so toxic. I'm gonna
Yeah.
wake up at 5 o'clock. We go for a run.
We're going for a run. I'm like the poor child. Leave the poor child alone. It doesn't like running.
Okay, wrong reasons people have children. To fix a broken relationship or save a marriage.
Yeah, some people do that, yeah.
Because they're bored or feel stuck in life.
Yeah, people do it sometimes to invigorate them.
Someone will take care of them when they're old.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's a big one.
It's a big one. It is. It's, if people are being honest.
Everyone says that actually around.
They'll say it in private.
Yeah. Because everyone else is doing it.
There's a bit of that.
I think this is more like me. That's
you grew up you grew up in a rural community where it was just an expectation.
Yes, you have to have children.
Yeah.
I hope my mom is not gonna watch this video.
You ran out of there, so you were all right.
To give life meaning or purpose.
Yeah, I think that's really the most important one. I don't see anything wrong with that at all, because it is why we're here, is to make more of us. So it does give you a purpose. There's no denying it that is the sole sort of function you serve. It's why you're here. We're supposed to have kids, and that's great. It's just important as well, while we're talking about this, that there's many people out there who really sadly can't have children, and they really want to have children. So you have to be mindful of that when you're talking about why do people have kids. Well, a lot of people really want kids, and for whatever reason they can't, and they really need to be helped and supported, because what we need is more people who really want children having children. So,
and a lot of people, just to mention, a lot of people have children from one night stands.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's people that are trying for a baby for like 6 years, and then they have a one night stand, and hey, there you go, you got a baby. But no, you're just mindful of that. Like I said, the world needs more people who really want to have children. They should be helped and encouraged and supported in every way possible, be it through science or medicine or adoption. All those stuff should be made as easy as possible for people who really genuinely want to have children, because they make the best parents.
Yes, because parents want grandchildren. This is very big as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of pressure from the other generation going, I want to have grandkids. I can think of nothing worse than grandchildren. This constant reminder that you're old. I'm joking. I'm so immature. Go on.
To feel needed or loved unconditionally.
Yeah, a bit of that. That's why we got a dog.
To prove they are not selfish and immature.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of guys. The power trip. They want to be. I suppose. They want to boast about their big family and their virility. There's a bit of that going on. People are complicated, and there's billions of us.
To pass on DNA.
Yeah, legacy. A lot of that. People want to at least know that when they're gone, their name isn't gone. So yeah, I get that.
Because time feels like it's running out, and panic takes over.
I guess looking for some purpose.
That was me.
Right.
Pushing me to make panicking. Like wrong decisions in my 30s. Yeah. The pressure. Okay. Now, a child should not be born with a job. I have this in my notes.
A child should not be born with a job. How do you mean?
Like to have all these things, to have a child for all these wrong reasons, like for example, to look after me, or
right, child shouldn't be born to function something.
Yes.
Like to fulfill a role in the house.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure in my side of the family, on my dad's side, they had kids to help out in the farm. Like really, seriously, we need more boys and we need more girls for this, and it was a different world back then. And it's not that long ago. It's 50, 60 years, but it's not that long ago in the grand scheme of things.
But the place where I am is still like that. Like
it's still like that. Yeah, there's parts of Ireland. Yeah, there's parts all over the world that are still like that, for sure. But we are in a modern world now where there's more choice and there's less stigma if you don't have children. I guess you can sort of get away with it a bit more. People don't really even ask. I mean, I'm in my 40s, and nobody asks us about kids. Do we want them? Did we want them? Are we having them? Nobody ever asks us. Not me, anyway.
And they ask me from Bulgarian side.
Oh, well, she gets a lot from Bulgaria.
I got a lot from Bulgarian side.
Yeah. Well, as I said, it's not no. I mean, I'm not a no on kids. I'm just a
Okay, I'm no.
yeah. She's no
No, no, no. Lily.
dogs. We like dogs.
I would like to have 15
I
dogs.
would like a lot of dogs. I get a lot of dogs in
I saw what is to have a love from a dog. It's
here.
just
Yeah,
pure love.
we should have been talking about pets really because we're more qualified to talk about
Yes,
pets than
yes,
children.
yes. We're going to be more qualified here. Top 10 wrong reasons people don't have children. Let's see if our
Okay,
reasons,
fly through
my
them.
reasons that I
Go
don't want child is correct.
on.
Fear of growing up.
Yeah.
I don't think so. No,
Well, no. The minute you have a kid, your responsibility and all of your energy has to go into maintaining that child.
avoiding responsibility altogether.
Yep.
Escaping unresolved childhood wounds. Fear of losing freedom more than wanting connection. Social media glorifying child-free lifestyle.
Huh? Social media glorifying a child-free lifestyle. I
It does
guess.
though. I have like I don't know how I'm in algorithm of child-free.
Yeah. Look, I just social media. It's just a snapshot in someone's life. I don't know why people feel the need to even register it. I mean, I could literally figure out a way of you know putting together a narrative on my Instagram that is completely untrue to my life. So I don't believe anything I see on social media. You see all these people having a great time on holiday with the
Yeah,
kids.
yeah.
Oh, the kids are great and we're having a great holiday, but in reality, they've got a hangover. They're tired from the kids
Mm.
that are screaming. They can't get into the beach because the kids aren't allowed in after 6. They have to eat dinner early because the kids are hungry. It's so oh, live in Saint Tropez. Really? Are you? I'm not so sure.
Maybe that's for you, not wanting to sacrifice comfort. You're very into your
I
comfort.
like my comfort. I do like my comfort. Um, but
How do you
you really
say
do
you don't
no.
mind
But
children
when
if
you have a kid, you be immediately become the second most important person in the room.
Hmm,
So you're just
maybe the first?
you hand it over.
What do you mean second? The first?
Well, I mean the most important person in the room is your child.
Yes,
It's not you.
exactly.
You're the second most important.
Yes,
But if you
yes,
don't have kids, it's just you.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's very selfish.
yeah. Okay.
I mean, the real reasons people don't have kids, a lot of it is financial. A lot of it is
There wasn't
selfishness. They want to
actually
get on with their
financial.
lives.
Yeah.
So it's all these sorts of things. You can go into all this kind of psychobabble. Sure, fine. I'm sure there's plenty of people with that kind of stuff going on. But ultimately, it comes down to the usual stuff in life: is money, time, effort, and capability. And
Hmm.
also just the driving nature of us as a human species is to have children.
Hmm.
So I mean that's the whole point we're here. So you have to sort of deal with that before you do that. And look, the truth is we need people. So I'm happy that people are out there having loads of kids. I wish they had more, so I didn't have to pick up the slack on
If I was Angelina Jolie, I think I would even
that.
adopt more than she did.
Well, I mean, if you have the means and the money, and you can offer some people a
Hmm.
better life, absolutely. I think it's actually incumbent on you
Hmm.
to really consider it,
Hmm.
because what is the point of this life if we're not sharing
I would
and
like to
looking after
adopt.
each
I
other?
would
Yeah,
like to adopt a
yeah. I'd be
child.
okay with that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Which regret are we allowed to talk about? Some people regret not having children. Some people regret having them.
I have no time for that.
Only one of these regrets feels socially acceptable.
Yeah, I have no time for that. Look, you have to just get on with your life. Whatever you choose to do, you've chosen, and that's it. You can't look back and go,
Take
"I wish."
responsibility.
Yeah, take responsibility for your decisions. I wish I had kids. All right, well then,
But everyone, that's what they say. Like, for example, you're gonna regret one day. That's the
that's
only
yeah.
thing I
That
hear.
they hang that over you. Like, yeah, they're always saying, look, you're going to regret it one day. It's the greatest thing that ever happened to me. And you're like, okay, well, I see you, and you don't look that happy.
But I have seen a lot of old people actually that they don't have children.
Pretty happy.
And I never heard an old person saying, I regret
No,
not
not really.
having.
No, they've good lives, and they maintain, the happiness in their lives. It's neither here nor there. It's
Hmm.
it's it's a stupid premise. You
Hmm.
either have them or you don't, and you can't go around afterwards going, "Oh, I wish I had them," because it's too late and it's a waste of energy and time.
Hmm.
Uh, I know I see many people around me who have had kids, and they're like, "It's the best thing that ever happened to you." Sure, maybe it's the best thing that ever happened to you, but maybe
Hmm.
the best thing that ever happened to me is not having them. It's
Mm.
all, it's all whatever. However you land, you land. Where you find yourself, you are.
Why do you think people who have children, um, I don't know how I are trying to influence you to have, but people that they don't have, they don't try to influence someone with children. Oh, why did you have?
Why do people with children try and influence people without?
Yes,
You should have a baby.
yes,
I think
but not the opposite. Like people
yeah,
that
yeah,
they
yeah,
don't
the other
have
way around.
children doesn't really say, "Oh, why did you have?" Because, for example, I want to reply someone, because maybe I wanted to have a child and
Mm.
I couldn't have. You know what I mean? The people
Oh
with
yeah, no,
children
I
are
never
more
say it to. Yeah,
braver
yeah, no,
to.
I never say it to people because you don't know anyone's story and
Mm,
it's
mm.
kind of rude. Uh,
Yes, it's very rude, I think.
but people always say to me like, "Oh, you should have kids." It's because they want me to be as unhappy as they are. That's my take on it. It's like, oh, I stayed up all night last night with my kid, and now I can't do anything at the weekend, and I can't just go away on a holiday because I have children. And you're like, okay, and then like, you should have kids. You'd be happy too. I'm like, I don't know about that. It doesn't sound that good. Um, yeah, I'll just, I'm okay being an uncle. That's all right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that was it.
yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
So we talked about kids.
yeah. We
If it,
wanted to talk about kids because,
Well,
um,
people asked for it because we've
mm,
been talking about Victoria Beckham and all that kind of stuff. And like anything else, if you want us to talk about something, let us know in the comments, like and subscribe
mhm.
and all that kind of stuff.
Thank you for watching, guys, and
Yeah,
let me
thanks,
know
guys.
what do you think.
Yeah.
Do you have children? Are you happy?
Do you
Would
want children?
do you want children?
No, we just said it's rude to ask people that. I don't know anyway. Well, whatever. Let us know. Like and subscribe. See you guys.